Boxing Truth here. Want to talk a little bit about Gilberto Ramirez, the now new WBO super middleweight champion, making history, becoming the first Mexican super middleweight to win a world title at that weight division. Now Gilberto in the fight with Abraham, he dominated, blanked Abraham. Pretty much every judge scored it 120, 108, all across the board. Gilberto showed some new dimensions. Show some versatility in this fight with Abraham. He had to. He was fighting a very strong guy who comes forward with the high guard. Very limited though. Limited opponent in Abraham, who's very strong physically. He's strong as an ox. He's impossible to knock out. Can take punches. Has a good guard that's tight. But when he opens up, he's very vulnerable to be countered. And every time he tried to, he would get hit. He would get countered with vicious body shots, uppercuts to the body, hooks, right hooks. Rizzuto had a solid performance, but I wasn't wowed by it. I wasn't thrilled. It wasn't particularly exciting. It was a repetitive round, every single round. Pretty much, Rizzuto would stick and move, outbox him, use his footwork, maintain distance, and he would just outwork Abraham. But he had trouble landing clean shots because Abraham's defense is very tight with that high guard. It's not a lot of openings because when he's not letting his hands go, it's very hard to penetrate his guard. So pretty much the only thing that's a little open is his body. And that's what Zerto was doing. He was, working that body, landing good shots to the body. And every time Abraham would open up, he would get caught. He would get hit flush, and he was hesitant to throw because of the counters of Zerto. So, all in all, solid performance. He's the new champion, as expected. I expected him to pretty much trash offer Abraham. Maybe not knock him out, but he dominated. Clearly won the fight. Wasn't a scintillating performance. So. But Zerto, he's a Mexican. He's a huge super middleweight. I have no idea how he can make 168. The guy, he towered over Abraham. He's 6'2.5", I believe. Southpaw, he's rangy. So Aram's got another player in his stable who has a world title around his waist in the super middleweight division. In terms of politics, very difficult for Aram to make some fights, unifications within the super middleweight division because most of them are Al Heyman clients. James DeGale, Badu Jack, and Felix Sturm is going to keep the title in Germany. So until he retires. So really no direction for Gilberto Ramirez at super middleweight. He has a world title around his waist, but no direction in the super middleweight division. No really opportunity to make unifications because of political dividing lines. So what's the future? Gilberto, Zerto, still a young guy, under 25 years old. He started to get a solid fan base, but he's not nowhere near the level of Canelo in terms of his fan base. He is marketable. He does have the fighting style. He's aggressive. He's not a devastating puncher. He's got power, though. He ain't no soft hitter either. The guy's strong. He's big, physical guy, workman-like type fighter. But he showed he's versatile as well. He could box. He could move. He could set his distance, outbox guys who, especially stronger opponents like Abraham, he had to box him. He wasn't going to walk him down. He wasn't going to knock his ass out. I mean, Abraham's just too damn strong. So now Aram's got to figure out the plan for Zerto. And there's been some discussions. Some reports in the media that Aram, if Zerto got past Abraham, which he did, he was going to perhaps match him, do an in-house fight for his first defense of his title. In that first fight, Aram was talking about, is a defense against another one of his fighters, a young fighter named Jesse Hart from Philadelphia, who's currently the number 3 rated contender for the WBO, within the top 15 rankings. So, very doable fight. It's according to the WBO rules. Jesse Hart is ranked by WBO, ranked number 3. He recently had a fight. I didn't watch it, but I heard he went life and death with a club fighter, or a fighter he was supposed to look good against, and he didn't wow any fans. He didn't have a great performance. I believe he got dropped. I didn't watch the fight, but I heard about it. I heard Jesse Hart didn't look good, and Arum was talking about perhaps matching those two together for Zerto's first defense. He was talking about maybe making that fight as part of the undercard if Terrence Crawford signs off with his fight with Victor Postal for July 23rd. Now, I'm hearing Arum would like to put that as the co-feature or one of the undercard bouts. Ramirez versus Jesse Hart. Looking at it, I think Ramirez, he definitely has more upside. He's got the Mexican fan base, and Arum's gonna try to build him into an attraction because he's got something to work with. He's a big, strong kid. He's Mexican. He's got the fighting style to make for some entertaining fights, depending on the styles of opponents that he's matched up with. And he's undefeated. He's building a fan base slowly but surely. He's got the smile. He's definitely marketable, just not at nowhere near the level of Canelo in terms of marketing power. But if you would put the two in the ring, who would you pick to win, Canelo or Gilberto Ramirez? I put my money on Gilberto Ramirez. It's way too damn big, too damn physical. So another fight that Arum would like to make, and he's been talking about it for the past year, because he's been saying to the media that if Golovkin Triple G cannot find any opponents at 160 pounds, that he'd be willing to offer Tom Loeffler and GGG Gilberto Ramirez. Now, Arum, he's been saying for the past year he will make the fight. He's very confident, in fact, saying that Zerto will knock Golovkin out. Now, according to Steve Kim, the writer from UCN Live, he pretty much stated today that, and during the fight with Zerto and Abraham, HBO was mentioning it, that they could see him as a potential opponent down the line for Triple G. Now, Steve Kim, he was saying that Bob Arum has already been talking about this fight, very interested in making it, because where the hell else is Gilberto going to go? He can't make any unification bouts. He can't fight. Sturm's not going to fight anybody. He's going to stay in Germany. So what the hell is he going to do with that title? He's got to find some lucrative fights, make some serious money in his boxing biz. So Arum has a duty to him to look for the biggest, most lucrative options out there. And the Golovkin fight is it. Now, Loeffler, according to Steve Kim, is also very interested in making that fight. Now, all Top Rank has to do is keep building Gilberto Ramirez into an attraction. And the more he wins, the more the performances, if he has great performances, good matchmaking, and they can build that into a very big fight, especially if they put it in the area of Texas, maybe Cowboy Stadium, if the fight is big enough for that type of venue. It's very possible for maybe next year down the line. I was saying recently in my other video that, Golovkin can't find 160 opponents. Maybe you should take the Zerto fight. Is it a big fight now? No, Zerto is not. He's still building his name, so maybe it's not ideal. And I said that in that video. And it's probably not the biggest fight out there. And maybe it's not worth it for Golovkin right now to move out of the super middleweight division. But by next year, if Gilberto is still winning, still a champion, and looking good in his fights, that's a fight definitely to look forward to. It's a interesting matchup. I mean, Zerto's a big dude, man. He towers over Golovkin, much bigger. He's a southpaw. He's busy. He's very active. He's not the strongest puncher. He's not a concussive knockout type puncher, but he's got power. If he hits you, you're gonna feel it. So it's not easy work for Golovkin. It'd be an interesting fight, but I would favor Golovkin. But it's a really big, strong southpaw. busy, and he took some shots from Abraham. He took them well. So, the size differential, the physicality that Zerto brings to the table makes it a dangerous but very interesting fight with Golovkin. I'm hopeful for Golovkin that Saunders will step up and fight him in the summer, because we all know Canelo's not going to fight him. Their trainers have stated that they want 3 more fights, 2 or 3 more fights at Canelo weight before they fight at 160. So that shit ain't happening. Besides, Pacquiao is out there. So Golovkin and his team, Loeffler, they're going to have to see what other money opportunities out there, whether that's in super middleweight, if they can't get any big fights at 160 pounds. But y'all let me know what y'all think about that fight. Who you got in a potential Zerto-Golovkin fight? Would you like to see that fight? Do you want Golovkin to stay at 160? I mean, would you rather Golovkin fight another Dominic Wade, William Monroe type of opponent? Prospects who do not belong in the ring with Golovkin to get slaughtered? Or would you like to see a legitimate challenge for Golovkin moving up in weight to fight a young title holder who's a lot bigger, a southpaw, and also has a reach advantage, much bigger foe, much bigger guy? But it'll be interesting to see how Golovkin deals with that type of opponent, that type of style. It'll be a great fight. I think it'll be a action-packed fight, and maybe, probably not. Maybe we would see Golovkin tested a little bit, because Gilberto's a really big freaking super middleweight. And Abel Sanchez, he's stated in the past, he's comfortable with Golovkin and with bigger guys. I mean, he said that freaking Golovkin made easy work of current cruiserweight champions. He wouldn't name no names, of course, because that's breaking the gym code. You don't break the gym code. But damn, if he's trashing cruiserweights, world title cruiserweights, then maybe Gilberto will be no match. But we'll see what happens. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.